funny story regarding how I approached XANDRIA's Fire and Ashes EP. It's quite humorous to me as I sit here because I should have been a little more aware of this, admittedly, if I'm going to call myself a XANDRIA fan or even a developing listener of theirs. I've been noting for a while this prospective journey we'd be taking, what I've had on the list for months, in fact, of a XANDRIA history deep dive, for many different motives and reasons, but certainly of XANDRIA's credit as a favorite artist of mine within the symphonic metal block in the European metal venue of a German basis. I really like their works, as you've witnessed now for a multitude of examinations, whether it be in present-day standing with The Wonder Still Awaiting, a selection of works there, or a selection of their pieces from Neverworld's End, as far back as we've dug together, and anything cataloged in the mix of that. Again, different eras of their history examined through different vocalist leadership, whether it be Manuela Kraler, Diana von Gisbergen, or Amber Ververhees. We're surveying all 3 chapters, and right now, we're in the Diana era, as I call it, with cataloged references which have become album deep dives and evolution of entertainment together of any of their pieces. We've surveyed Sacrificium, and we just completed the run-through, in fact, there, and we will be getting into a theater of Theater, or is it Theater? I forget exactly which one it is. I think it's Theater. Anyway, we're getting into Theater of Dimensions, the next phase, of at least what was cataloged for a while. But I guess in getting my list formatted, I somehow misnoticed that there was an EP in the midst of that release. I don't know why I didn't notice it, but who would it be for me to leave an entry out? Especially in our journey with XANDRIA and Diana specifically, as I promised you. This is a 2-path step we're taking. It fulfills certainly the XANDRIA direction of a deeper dive into their history and a greater window of proficiency and credibility for me to speak to their earlier works and understanding of their voice, which I've quite liked. But again, study each era has been really interesting. And again, I'm very well aware of XANDRIA fan discourse. I know everybody has their particular favorites. I am somebody that is definitely, I've got a foot in each window. Manuela, Diana, Amber, I love all 3 entrances and eras with the group. But Diana, I will not deny, is a real highlight. She was a great fit with the group when she was a part of it. But now, she's no longer, but we're still taking a historical perspective with the motive, intentionally, of eventually going into a Diana deep dive, and we're building towards that of what I have slated for many artists. Diana occupies a great space on my considerations list of what I have exclusively planned and what we will be getting to, whether it be Ex Libris, I'm looking forward to that, XANDRIA specifically, what we're in the midst of, or Diana, any adjacent collaborations. I am so looking forward to our journeys together based on completion of Sacrificium, and now 13 plus with Call of Destiny, 14 entrances into her vocal capabilities as a spinto soprano singer. I love her. Favorite of mine in the operatic wheelhouse of European metal, which I've said before is of great advantage to any metal enthusiast, and I've been for a number of years, certainly on the symphonic metal regard, an immediate reach, and XANDRIA's numbers, quite a compulsive pull to them. Energetic, thriving pieces. Beautiful works of art, quite frankly. I'm very impressed with their capability, whatever era you examine. And again, in our explorations together, I welcome anybody. Longtime fans or initiate listeners, I hope you feel welcome here, as we encounter new pieces of XANDRIA, at least to my introduction, and perhaps yours as well, or review experiences from an initiate perspective. Now we're going to dive into the EP. I debated whether I wanted to jump into Theater of Dimensions first, or this one we're going in chronological order of what I typically do. So, Fire and Ashes is our next stop with Voyage of the Fallen. And it has been a long time since a XANDRIA visualizer, hasn't it? Certainly we only had about 2, counting 1 lyrical video and 1 main music video on part of Sacrificium. A rather light selection, which has definitely been changed now with the Voice of the Wonders Still Awaiting, with 6, 7 visualizers. 8 if you count the Amber sing-through of Illusion Is Their Name. Certainly a much more expansive vision now on that front, but we have another entrance today, and our only one off of Fire and Ashes with Voyage of the Fallen, an original alongside 2 others, XANDRIA number. And we are going to be taking, alongside all the albums we're doing, an EP deep dive. So we're going to hear each piece just in its own isolation, and I'm sure each piece will be quite commanding on presence. That's been the story of XANDRIA. I wouldn't expect anything less. Let's wade into Voyage of the Fallen together, perhaps in simultaneous respect, on fresh perspective. I don't know. Maybe your story is different. Maybe you're an informed listener, but either way, however we approach, I'm looking forward to this entry myself quite a bit. The new XANDRIA piece, next step in our journey, whether it be in fulfilling a history run-through of XANDRIA amidst the Diana era, or our next step to getting to more Diana pieces, with her solo stuff really being the goal point, as I'm calling it. I'm looking forward to those immensely. I've been, again, for months, but let's dig in more into XANDRIA together with Voyage of the Fallen. I like the name already. Not what I foresaw on key. Great entrance, though. I love the mood of it on key choice already. Differentiated a bit from Sacrificium. It still digs into the roots quite a bit, which is also pleasurable, equally. Oh, and evolves, too, on key of choice, ascending a bit. That's nice. I wasn't expecting, too, a vocal performance. I mean, I was on instrument. Oh, wow. Incredible. I love it. Perfect rush pacing. Again, I love the points of differentiation on this one. A lot of atmosphere. I recognize that outfit. Perfect. You know, this is tapping too into the electronic and modern aesthetics that Call of Destiny is also has recognizable. Interesting. Weighted in by the EP, not bad. Good path of entrance to some new traits, at least in development of what we've humored. With the deliberate expressed, of course. Man, her elevations really get me. Oh, I love it. Well-paved key change, beautifully organized and mirrored by vocals. I love the character of this one. I know it's a lyric video, but there's just such imagination in the presentation. It's so endearing. Lighter twinges on the riff structure, not a bad fit at all. Really nice traits to this one. Wow. She makes it just look so simple. It's amazing to me. Such a natural vocal feed. That return's great. Drawn pacing really impresses me with this one. Really does. What a sensational closure too. That one's perfect. Evolves its voice beautifully. With plenty of character. It's fantastic. You know, I feel like I'm watching one of their live shows, and I have watched a number of, at least, recordings. Oh, I would love to go to a live one, though I missed the window, obviously, with Deanna's membership. Oh, that would have been great. All I can humor are just online postings, but oh man, she has such a connective personality whenever you watch her perform. It's just an amazing sensation. And there's been many, again, I'll be fair to any artist I've attributed here of the European variety specifically, there are many that fit that mold when you watch any live performances from them. They're just invigorating, sensational encounters. Deanna, whether it be, well, namely with XANDRIA, I think is the only ones I've seen. Maybe a light one from, Maybe a clip of one from the Ex Libris. Possibly. XANDRIA for sure. But even if it's a lyric video, just her in the background singing, it amazes me just how natural her voice comes across. I could never sing like that. I wish I could. Beautiful scales on that number, and a personality that does, I think, fit well into XANDRIA's tracks, certainly, but it still expresses elements of freshness. I really like the ambiance of this one, paired with where we're going, notably Call of Destiny and Theater Dimensions, largely speaking. That same deliberacy on electronic undertones, well, it's not really an undertone, the superficial presence of it within the guitar structures, what's the word I'm looking for? Foretold well here. Quite natural in terms of a feed of where we're going in destination, but beautifully tracked. The vocal layering on this one, on the spinto range, and I'm not sure if it's necessarily spinto, but the really high inflection points, paired with the evenly paced and distributed melodic, or pseudo-melodic, because it's more so operatic on lighter extremes. I don't know if that's her or the choir. I think it's her. That dualistic presence is really nice. It's a beautiful attribution to the number. Again, it gives it a good field of scope that's already quite fun on key, on rhythm, energetic, beautiful, beautiful listen. I love Voyage of the Fallen. It's a really endearing picture. I mean, the visual presentation is quite a compliment, but the number really transfixes you in a way that XANDRIA scores do, but paired with Diana's voice specifically. It really is a highlight of a journey with XANDRIA's history, isn't it? Just, there's such a natural balance to her range paired with the instrumental association. It's great. It's that dualistic layering I find such capability within this number. I love it as a choice. And it could have been, I mean, maybe there was a light choir presence. It could have even been the choir. It just comes across as Diana to me on two pitches. Well, it's two pitches. Well, you know, it is two pitches because everyone's quite high. And the lingers too, and the way that the pace differentiated on voice. This is a very inventive number. I quite like it, but it allows Diana to flourish with XANDRIA's mastery of score, for sure. I love how it's paced, it's organized well, invigorating metal mood. Different key, though, on approach than what I foresaw, but as we evolve, it definitely fits, I think, the journey of capability and temptation that Voyage of the Fallen provokes emotionally. It's a good pair. I quite like it. As an initiator, Voyage of the Fallen is quite compelling. I love, at least in my view, I'd love to hear if that's a similar sentiment for you down below. And your point of approach to XANDRIA, longtime fan or fresh initiate witness, what do you think? More to come as we begin the next step in our journey. And just with suspicion on XANDRIA, we continue to proceed along our course with understandable presumption of strength. Voyage of the Fallen is really sitting in well. It's going to become an immediate favorite, I can already tell for me, but a good herald, I think, to an ever-promising album. Past entrances have gone that way. Think of our story of Sacrificium. And The Wonder Still Awaiting. Same thing. Or even as Boom, Never World's End. These first pieces really tap you into the interest of the album. Voyage of the Fallen readily satisfies that need. Compels a great interest. I'm sure it'll be a beautiful EP, all things considered. But certainly with its initiator work, in isolated standing, it's a highly capable XANDRIA number with a beautiful witness to Diana's, in my opinion, God-given gifts. I just think it's quite evident just how natural she is as a singer, how simple she makes her voice and elevation look. It really amazes me. She truly is a gifted artist. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.